Yes. All right, we are live. First ever episode of the Songwriter Studio with Bluebeard Bard with a very special guest, my good buddy James. Should we call you James? Should we call you Clysmic? Should we call you
Yeah,
Dr.
James. Yeah.
C? James is good.
James. Yeah, James is great.
Okay, awesome. And we got a real fun song we're going to talk about today. It's called Outro. The title is kind of grabby, just as it is. So hopefully we get some good conversation going here. First thing I want to ask you, James, is why do we write songs? Why do we do this? Why do you write songs?
I mean, that's kind of what this song is about. Yeah, it's funny. I write songs for the actual, I call it the journey, but like the experience of writing the song. And I'm never really, I don't really, for my art, I don't care about the final product. Right? Like how I got there is the best part of it for me.
Okay,
So,
that's a
uh yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah.
I think that's a great answer. I was hoping you weren't going to say to make money. I mean, I know you have more sense than
Oh
that,
yeah. No,
because
I don't care.
there are easier ways to make money. How long have you been writing songs for? When did you write your first song?
I mean, I started writing lyrics and poetry at a really young age. I didn't really get into music, the actual like writing music and performing and all that till I was about 20. But for like a good, you know, 12, 13 years before that, I was writing poetry and I was writing songs. I just didn't have music. I didn't think I was a musician, like I didn't know yet.
Isn't that an
And so,
interesting thing that we have to kind of give ourselves permission to realize that this is something we can do? I
oh
mean,
yeah.
when did you realize that this was, did you just decide one day, I want to do this and I'm going to make it happen? Or did you see a friend do it? Or how'd you become a songwriter? What clicked?
So I already felt the draw. Like I said, I was like 20. I already felt the draw, and I had a guitar gifted to me, but I didn't really play it, And then 9/11 happened,
Okay.
and I was like, but it didn't like make me go, oh my god, life is short. We're gonna play guard. No, 9/11 happened, and all the conspiracy theories started happening. I'm like, you know what? I'm a fucking punk rocker. And then yeah, I just started playing guitar at that point, and I started writing punk songs, like three chord, dun, 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 so I could just yell punk lyrics, because I've been a writer for a long time,
Sure.
so I could just start yelling punk lyrics. And I did that. Yeah, that was my musical, like my songwriter beginning, was just like, I'm a punk, I'm gonna get my shit out there, because 9/11 was a cover up.
Hey, man, these
uh,
days, once upon a time, if you believed in aliens, you were considered a nut by the populace at large. And now the
right.
government is talking about the aliens aren't from other planets, they're from other dimensions. Like, there's been a major paradigm shift in what we are accepting as possible, plausible in this world. This,
Oh yeah, the
humdrum.
simulation is out of freaking control at this point. Like like we're having all these jump the shark moments like that one. I'm like, wait a minute, wait, wasn't I weird when I believed that? Oh my god, I can't keep up.
Yeah, it's crazy. Here's a question. Where does this song fit in your catalog? Is this a recent song? Is this an early song? Is it
uh,
representative of your style as a whole, would you say?
this is a redo. So basically, we put out an album uh when we came back to music, because I stopped music for a long time to play sports, and then I came back to play sports, one sport. I came back to music, and we wrote and recorded an album, and at the end of it was a song called "I'm Just an Outro," and it was a good cap to that album, but it wasn't a great version of the song. And then the community had rallied around doing a remix version of that album, because I was never fully happy with that album, and to do a remix version led by Yuki Sayonara. It's like, you should convince everybody to do a remix album. So we came up with these things. Did it? In fact, one of the great remixes, Purple Rhapsody, is in the chat right now. He did an amazing remix of one of them. He made it, actually, in my opinion, a better version of the song than it was original. He made it so bad as Find a King Go. But anyway, uh, we were finding people to do all these different songs, and people were doing remixes. And Yuki's like, you know what? You should do outro because I bet you could just sing that better. And I was like, oh shit.
It's the type of compliment that hurts. You're like, wait a second. Thank you, but yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, but I did, and I made this version. That's what it's called, re-outro. I made this version. I'm like, oh, this is probably what it should have been. I sang it better. It flowed better. There's a few more things in it lyrically that kind of make it a little better. Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's, yeah. So it's kind of, to answer your question, it was the beginning of my second journey in music. This song was in the beginning of that, but it's also was remixed later when I'm a little bit more comfortable, redone when I was a little more comfortable. So it kind of hits multiple areas.
Okay, cool. So this is kind of epoch spanning in terms of the Clysmic catalog.
I used to be of the thought process, you write a song and you're done with it type, and now I'm like, hey, you could do a million versions of the song because you change.
Sure. Absolutely.
Like,
especially if you're about the journey, as you say, part of that journey is realizing that something you once maybe thought was true, or maybe once just thought was really good, is not as true or is not as good as you originally thought, and you can tweak it and make it a little more true, more good.
I was gonna say, or you have an expanded view on that subject now because you've lived.
There you go.
You've lived another few years, or absolutely.
All right, well, let's share this song. I've got, let's see, share. Let's see if I can do this properly. Re-outro James Clinton, share sound. Share, we've got it up there. All right, everyone, enjoy Re-outro by Clysmic.
I'll go. But if this is truly the end, I have one more thing to say, because I really need to be sincere right now. You said goodbye and pointed at the door. I'm just an outro, not welcome anymore. You were here from the beginning and you wrote this thing till the end. Later.
All
Thank you for all the
right.
nice things in chat, by the way. Thank you.
Very,
I do love that song.
very nice. It's a very solid piece of writing. Here, how do I stop? Let's see, stop share. All right, get us back. All right, cool. So the first thing I want to ask about is
Mhm.
your performance of this song. You're singing
Mhm.
full voice. Was this a
Yeah.
conscious choice? Is this how you sing all your songs, or was this one? Because it really seems like you're letting the emotion come through in your voice here. Very raw.
You'll find that a lot of my songs are emotional, so there is a lot of that, but everything is a conscious choice. I approach every song kind of like as a piece of musical theater. I'm a big fan of musical theater. So
Okay.
in my mind when when I'm singing, I'm envisioning I am a performing a musical theater piece. So
Okay.
I kind of go big a lot of the time. Or at least bigger than like the words say. I love the stage. So yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting seg. I had sort of an order here, but I'm realizing the more I try to stick to my order of questions, the more stilted and unordered things go. So we're just gonna kind of
I feel you.
flow like a little hippy dippy, woozy floozy. Here we go. But anyway, what I was gonna ask was, you talk about musical theater, you talk about performing. In this song, you made a very decided choice to stop singing and start
Yeah,
talking and
talking.
have a
Yeah.
little interlude.
Yeah.
Not every song does that. What was behind the choice to say, you know what this song needs? It needs a boys to men moment where I slow it down and I say some stuff, But very sincere. Yeah,
Yeah.
what was behind the choice?
That once again that ties itself to musical theater. They will do that where they will stop mid song to have a conversation. I always wanted to do musical theater, but when I actually tried to do it, I was told I was not a good singer. So I started writing my own. You know what I'm saying? Like I started writing my own, and I'm like, well, fuck it, I'll play all the parts. I can sing them all.
Yeah.
I'll be my own. I'll be my
What
own little theater troupe.
what do you write on? I see a piano there. I know you played the piano in the video and on the song. Do you write on a guitar, on a piano, a little bit of everything? What's your
uh,
process like?
every song pretty much starts from either my guitar or my piano, but it's one of the two. Yeah,
Okay.
it just depends what I feel.
And do you find that you write differently with your guitar or piano, or is it a pretty equal
Absolutely.
process? Okay,
No, very
describe that
different.
difference if
If
you
I'm
can.
writing if I'm writing a song on my guitar, it's gonna go back. So I don't spend a lot of time learning from other people, right? I've always been kind of that person. I'd rather suck, and I'm cool with that. And no, I'm not saying I don't take influence. I would just rather, and I do take suggestion, but I'd rather not study under one teacher or follow one program or whatever, things like that.
I
I just
get it. I'd rather be me than be a really good copy of somebody else.
exactly. And so my style was built from that philosophy on the guitar. When I started on guitar, I couldn't play it. I was punk, so my punkier, rockier roots show more on my guitar. Uh, because I did that style for a god awful amount of time on the guitar. When I started playing piano for real, I was an older musician. I was more mature, so I started working in music theory and things of that nature while learning the piano. So it's still got I still play the piano in a goofy ass way. Like when people actually see me play, they're like, "What the fuck are your hands doing?" And it's like, "Yeah, I know, I can't do it like people. I don't know. They're weird. I play weird. Yeah. Anyway, but and a little tense at times, but I don't know, it still plays. uh yeah, but so with that in mind, so when I play the piano, it's got that older sensibility about it. Like I feel like I'm a little, if I'm coming out of the guitar, it's probably angry, or it's probably, it the stuff out of the guitar is angrier or edgier or things of that nature. Stuff that coming out of the piano is tends to have a sadder or a softer side to it.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
the guitar is kind of a. I heard a piano player once complain that all they get to do is play a note and listen to it die. whereas a guitar player can bend a note, can bang on a note, give it a little more attack, give it a little less attack, etc. It's a more tactile experience. It's a more intimate experience. You're not as separated from the actual source of.
It is it's very different. I agree with that statement. Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah, right on.
Even adding stuff like the pitch bending and stuff on the keyboards, it's just like you can do fun stuff with that, but it's just not like playing a guitar.
Okay, sure. Yeah, cool. So one thing I wanted to ask you was this title. I think one reason why you chose this title is because this is a hooky idea. I'm one who loves a good hook. If someone turns their nose up at the idea of a hook because they think art can't have a hook, Picasso had hooks. He had focuses of attention. He had things that gimmicks, whatever. Every artist has a hook of some sort in some way. Anyway, I don't need to argue for hooks, but my point is this idea of the outro being an outro, it's a clever idea. I haven't heard it before, but labeling yourself as someone else's exit, it's kind of pathos. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, it was.
And
it's based in reality.
Yeah. Was this an experience that was different from other relationships you've had, or was it particularly hard, or was this just one that you had the guitar in your hand at the time?
So it's funny. So this is about one of my friends, and basically the old lead guitarist from my band back when we were a band called the Glory Pit of Hell. This was pre-Clysmic. This is back in my punk rock days. Had this lead guitarist. We you bonded. You're in a band. You guys freaking kicked ass. People hated you. It was awesome. And you bond. And had this guy. And that was the last band I actually played in. We split up, we all went our separate ways, blah, blah, blah. And, I still made music, but it was just by myself. I went solo. You know how it is. So when my best friend and I decided, hey, we're gonna do music again and write this album that I'm just an outro was at the end of, right? We had a bunch of songs planned out, and we had a lead guitarist to play on it, him. Right as we start, and I played guitar too, so I had scratch guitar in there and stuff. Right as we started getting to his point to record a guitar, he did a bunch of drugs and disappeared.
Oh no.
And I was just like, dude, and that was like a huge betrayal to me, because it was like it took a whole lot to get to the point where I was going to even have him do it. There was a big. It was like, yeah, okay, yeah, let's do this. Like it took a lot of convincing for me to have someone else involved. And then when we finally get to his part, like we got all these songs written, all this, right? He gets his part and he's like, okay, we're gonna record, and then he disappears. And so
now, was that a coincidence, or do you think it was a causal effect? Did he panic? Was it too much pressure?
I don't honestly know. I still don't have the closure on that.
Yeah.
All I know is I was like, oh, I know how to end the album now. And I wrote that song, because it's not like he's the only person in my life ever that is just like,
yeah.
I don't want to call it a betrayal, but it felt like a betrayal. It's like, the fuck, we just did all of this. We are at the key moments in our life. Like we've worked everything out. We're at the moment where we're about to do the thing. It just seems so crazy after putting in that much time. But anyway, so that's where the song came from. And then, I've had a lot of different shitty relationship issues since, and that song came back.
Okay.
It works for any relationship.
Yeah. Was this an easy choice to choose this song, or did you have a few that you were like, what's going to be because you're theoretically representing your whole catalog with one song here, and I'm sure you've got a few that crossed your mind. Was this an easy choice?
Yeah, it was easy.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorites. Yeah.
Right on. Well, it's a really good song, man. A couple of specific questions I wanted to ask you about some of the lyrics, if we can get into the nitty gritty a little bit. The first verse: now the time is upon us, we must go our separate ways. We've had fun throughout, so keep your spirits raised. I noticed that instead of now the time is here, now the time has come, now it is the time, now the time is upon us. Was there a weight? Are you trying to, was that even a conscious thing to choose that phrasing, or did that just kind of come out that way? Because to me, it
It's
feels a
kind of how
little bit oppressive.
it's kind of how I talk. I talk like you're once it, we're gonna go back. Uh, especially when I'm doing art, you'll see it's gonna keep tying back to the musical theater thing. It's gonna be the way people talk and that kind of stuff. You know, I maybe this time I'd watched Hamilton one too many times. I don't fucking know, but it's one of those things. It's one of those things where like I like they're even, especially in like you write amazing lyrics, dude. You know what I'm talking about
Thank
here.
you.
Like you want your lyrics to present a certain way, and in each song it's that way. And this entire thing, this rounded out a cyberspace punk rock opera, right? This is the bow at the end of a cyberspace punk rock opera.
Okay.
Like you it has to have like that bombastic feel to it. Like you could say it in a much more fluid way, but that just doesn't feel like theater to me.
Yeah, that's fair. Totally fair.
Yeah.
Good answer. Good answer. Let's see, what other questions did I have? Well, another very conscious choice that you made that I got to ask about is after you had seen the best of me and you don't need the rest of me, which is a nice little multisyllabic rhyme sprinkled in there. You have this just moment of guitar rocking out and again, is this, if I'm imagining musical theater, are there lights flashing and bodies flailing around the stage, and is this just a big theatrical emotional moment where we take a break from words and just kind of flail?
I mean, I kind of think the music video covers what you probably see.
Okay.
It's gonna be him putting on a guitar, pulling a hat on, and screaming like a baby. Because what else can he fucking do? He's gonna emote.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
Sorry, I don't know if I can cuss on your show.
No, you can do whatever you should be telling me what I can do on my show, because you're the pro and I am very much an amateur learning my way.
You're doing awesome.
Well,
awesome,
I'm doing my best, and hopefully we get through it. Let's see, what other questions did I want to ask you specifically about this song? Well, where do you get the idea of yourself as an outro? Is this something that you noticed multiple times and the turn of phrase popped into your head? Did it come to you in the night? Were you in the shower? Were you sitting on the toilet? Do you remember? How did this happen? Because this is a good hooky line. I think it stands up to.
My brain never shuts off. I think a lot of us artists are that way. I will just be walking along, and it's the same with this one. I'll just be walking along, and I will, like in this case, I was just thinking about the word outro, and then at some point it just popped in my head that like, oh, that's kind of what I am. Like it just like I'm pretty self-deprecating at times. It's just like it just like, oh, I'm that thing at the end. Like I tie it all together and then it's gone. Like I don't know. I just feel shitty a lot of times, and it was one of those things that I said that just stuck. Like that's the other thing. I walk around singing things all the time that don't make sense until they do.
Okay.
I'm just and like that. Like I don't know that I was walking around singing I'm just an outro, but you know what I'm saying. Like I'll sing a stupid phrase and then I'll eventually write it on the board. He's like, I don't know what that means, but that means something, and eventually it becomes a song.
Right on. So yeah, that leads me to ask: when you write a song, does it come all at once, or do you have a page of lyrics finished and you say, "Shit, I got to come up with some melody, or I got to come up with some chords," or do you kind of hear it all in your head and it's all of a whole?
Most of the time with me, a songwriting process is a pretty long thing. The first time I'm feeling like some emotion, whatever it is that I have to get out of my body, right? And so I'll write the music, but then I got it out. And I'm like, oh, okay, back burner. And then the next time I'm feeling that emotion, oh yeah, this one. bring it back, and then I write the words and sing it and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So like I have a whole bunch of songs sitting right now where like because I was feeling all kinds of negative and sad and angry and all kinds of bad emotions. I have like 11 songs of this, but I just haven't felt that way in so long. They're just sitting there. I pulled them all back out recently just to be like, hey, I like because I injured myself, so I can't like go running around like I usually do. So I'm like, oh, I should work on music. All of them are like real sad or angry, and I'm like, oh, I just don't feel that way. So,
Well,
uh,
maybe this speaks to one of the earlier things we were talking about, which is why do we do this thing? This very because to me, music is a very human thing. It's
yeah,
everything we do essentially has an analogous action in the animal world, whether it's mating or shelter or recreation or play or eating or whatever. But music, I mean, birds sing for music, but they communicate with it. To
yeah.
just sing, to create an artistic, beautiful sound, to create art, that's something animals don't really do. It's a very, very human thing to do. And to, uh, I don't know, it just, I completely lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
So,
Here, yeah, I'll take over. Hey, we are communicating when we are communicating when we make music, though. I mean,
we
that's
are.
the whole thing.
That's true. That's true.
Like a lot of the people that I've connected with in chat, you here, who as well, Bluebeard, I connect with, hearing like I listen to your guys' music, and I'm like, oh, I want to know that person. You know what I'm saying? Like that you communicated something to me, like uh when dude, I played like Cake Shake a million times. Like no matter what that song's about or what it means, it communicated something to me because it made me want to know more about you. Like
That's
it was,
awesome, man. That's
yeah,
awesome. And that resonates with me because part of what like this is my the thing that I'm good at when it comes to music, if I can stroke myself, is the I love to write. I love to write and I love to create. And if I could, I've got 150, 200 songs on my hard drive that no one's ever heard before because I just wrote them and moved on because I love to write. It's what I love to
yeah,
do, but I'm not
I love
good.
that.
I'm not very good at promotion. I'm not very good at putting myself out there. And so part of psyching myself up to venture into this world that you've made a home for yourself in and that I'm, trying to carve out a niche in is that I get to meet these people who have created these cool things. And I
Hell yeah.
genuinely, if I can blow a little smoke up your ass for a second, I every time I see you on the stream, I'm like, he is such a cool guy. He doesn't take
Thanks.
himself too seriously. He's fun. He's smart. He's welcoming to everybody. That's somebody who would like to know. And if
That's awesome.
the only
Thank
thing
you.
that comes of this experience is not any promotion of my music or not any far reaching whatever, but I get to hang out and meet a new, connect with a new soul over a shared habit, a shared hobby that we have, a shared passion that we have, then I think it's going to make me a better writer too doing this stuff.
Dude, that's the same reason I do it, and the inspiration does absolutely make you better at things, or at least I believe it does. Like when I started streaming, I was a musician. I now do multiple types of art. Like I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna make movies. Oh my god, I'm gonna make a like it inspires you in ways you don't even realize.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I don't mind giving my time to it because it feels wonderful. Like it makes me feel good. Like I said, as soon as last summer, I was in this awful depression, like and I got out of it because of the community. And this year I was worried about something similar, especially when I got hurt. But no, like I like this funny. I talked to my mom today on the phone. She was very worried about me. She's like, I was worried you get depressed after getting hurt. And I was like, I was worried I was going to get depressed after I got hurt. I haven't. Like, I've been hanging out with these people every day,
Yeah.
and like we watch movies and crap and we chat. And I just don't, it's like, oh, I'll be fine. These connections are beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we all connected because of art.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Let's see. Do I have any other specific questions I wanted to ask about general songwriting, or do we want to dive into these lyrics some more?
It's up
One
to you.
one interesting line I thought and I don't know if this was because as songwriters we don't always have to, but we always often try to rhyme. So sometimes you catch yourself writing to the rhyme. You used the word append, one thing left to append. Is that a word you use normally? Or
Yeah.
was it very specifically chosen because an appendix is something that goes on the end, like an outro? Oh, that's my phone ringing. Sorry. My bad. Should have turned that down.
Hey.
Bad. I would be
No.
mad at you if you did that, James. Bad streamer.
Well, this is the thing. I wouldn't be mad, but also my phone is never on anything but silent.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's a good way to live. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a few people in my life who, if I don't answer the phone, there's hell to pay. So enough said about that. The less said about that, the better, probably.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah,
append.
to append the appendix. And the appendix, then we say it's time for me to go is only ever about the journey anyway and the friends we made along the way. Is that the whole song in a nutshell? Is that what you want people to take away from this song?
Yeah. That's your wrapped up at the end, TLDR right there.
That's your nugget to go with. And so this journey that yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say it's also saying it is telling that person that did go. It's also a forgiveness if you think about it, because it's saying all that really mattered was the time that we had together.
Yep, and I think that earlier when you were talking about feeling like you were an outro and feeling like you were I don't know exactly how you put it, the final act or the exit for people. I think a lot of that can be perspective, can be how we see the world. And the way that you're saying things here is maybe I was just an outro, but fuck, we spent a day at the roller coaster park. We spent a day having fun before I had to say goodbye. And
I'd rather focus on now that I've had my emotional outburst in the middle of the song. I think what we should actually do is probably focus on what we did have, since we obviously have nothing else.
I think that's cool. Yeah. So in the beginning, we say we're leaving. We're now the time is upon us. We go our separate ways. Keep your spirit raised.
It's the separation. It's the emotional release from the separation, and then it's the kind of forgiveness. Hey, we did have something great. Focus on what's important, because the rest of it doesn't matter.
All right.
Before and after doesn't matter.
What would this world be like if everybody heard this song and took it to heart? How would the world change?
Oh God, I don't know that there need to be more. Let me think. Okay, so first of all, I'm an emotional, like I'm a time bomb, right? Like I'm an emotional like wreck most of the time. It's I jump all over the place. So I don't know that there needs to be more people like that. I think there's too many emotional people right now. Maybe. I mean, I guess they do need to appreciate the present, but I do think more people need to think about the future. I would say it's not a good song for right now, because we need more people to realize there's a future, so they stop doing saying all the stupid shit in the present.
Yeah.
No, not a good song for right now. We need people to consider the future, or there won't be one.
All right. Let's see. Is this song more a poem or more of a story?
More of a story.
Okay.
Has
poetic elements for sure.
Yeah, I mean, but if you're telling a story in music, there's probably going to be poetic elements, I would think. Yeah. I mean, it could be both. It could be all of it. I could read this as a poem.
You could. I could snap my fingers and How about this? Like, I've written down music theory. Do you think about theory when you write? Because this is a very simple song in theory when it comes to your chord progression. But another way to say that is there have been 1,000 great songs written with a 1 minor 6 4 5, which is what this is in the key of A.
What this is.
Yep.
Yep.
Ton of great songs. I can't list them right now because my head doesn't work that way. But go to the evil chat
Oh,
GPT.
if you look, yeah, I was gonna say you look that up. There's gonna be like 1,000 songs.
There's a lot of them. But of course, that just means you've got an open playing field, an open field to run on. You've got more directions to go. Do you think about that stuff, or does it just happen the way it happens and you find the chords as you go?
Most of the time I find the chords as I go, but then after I have decided, my chord structure or started writing the song, I bring music theory into it.
Okay.
To help me find my way. I think I'm a believer that music theory can help guide you to it people like to say it's the way it guides you to, or it helps you make music that sounds like other people, but the reason that's pleasant to people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like music that sounds like that. That's why I listen to music, I don't know. I'm not against those things. I will completely leave music theory. I love Discord, and all that, but I know what I'm doing with the Discord because of music theory. I used to make Discord and just be like, oh, nah, nah. Now when I do it, I know exactly what I'm doing when I make the Discord. It doesn't limit me.
Sure.
But it does help me. Knowing music theory does help me because when I get stuck, I can consider the music theory and be like, oh yeah.
I've said the exact same thing. It's a great set of kind of like, when you go bowling with little kids and they put those bumpers on the lanes.
Yeah.
They put the inflatable things in the lane so that you can't roll a bumper.
Can't gutter ball.
Can't gutter ball there. Yeah. Sorry. Gutter ball, not bumper ball. What the hell am I talking about? Yeah. It just if you're getting off track, it's like, hey man, over here. Over this way, back into the lane, and then you got to figure it out from there. It's not going to put you in the middle, but it's going to keep you from getting too far off track. And
I like little things that can help you out like that. And also when you're collabing, it does help to know the key of the song you're in, because even if you're not going to follow it, like when someone gives me a song, I always ask them what the key is, because even if I'm not going to 100% follow that, it just helps to know. There's some people that are just like, oh, I don't know, I don't use music theory. Well, it's like, you don't have to, but you should know the basics. It's pretty basic. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And as speaking to that, do you ever, this is something I do sometimes, is I'll force myself to stretch with my music theory. I'll say, you know what, I've written too many songs with a 1 minor 3 4 5. So today I'm gonna try 1 major 3 4 5. Now that shouldn't work, but the Beatles do that all the damn time. They'll play in the key of C and use a E dominant 7th, for example. I don't do that. Yeah, you just play whatever comes naturally and flows in your.
Yes, I know a bunch of chords, and I know a bunch of and shit, and a lot of times I'll single note my way to a sound, and then I'll build chords from there or stuff like that. I don't know. I a lot of mine is from sitting there and hearing it happen.
Okay.
I play a lot of songs that don't come to life.
Yeah.
A lot.
You mean you've got a lot that you start and don't finish, or just a lot of ideas that you're still developing? Or
every time I make a cup of coffee in the kitchen, I have a piano in there, so I sit down and play the piano every time, right?
Okay.
But most of the time, not a song that comes out of that is not a song we're ever going to hear, because I'm like, I didn't write anything good that time. Most of them in that way. Same when I pick my guitar up, I'm like, I'll play it for a while, and I'll be like, oh, didn't write anything good that time. Yeah, there's a lot of that.
I have a very similar process. A lot of noodling, a lot of just figuring stuff out, and every once in a while you discover something, you find your way into something, you go, oh boy, I want to remember that.
And something inside you knows. Something inside you knows when you hit it, too. That's the other thing, though. You're like, oh, I've never, any song that I forgot about, I've never given a shit. But it's the ones that those ones where I'm like, oh yeah, that's something.
Yeah, there's
You know,
there's an intuition that an artist has to have, I think, a gut instinct to know, because you can self-edit yourself into oblivion. You can
right.
leave all your best ideas on the cutting room floor and no one ever sees them. But when you hit it just right, when you hit that right chord or that right transition or that right, phrasing of calling yourself an outro instead of just saying, I'm always your ending, I'm always your conclusion, I'm always your whatever. No, your outro. Okay, there's something there, you know. Uh, I think it's instinctive, it's
Yeah.
one thing to try to teach or to try to learn songwriting, but there's something to be said for just knowing when you got it and just being willing to keep trying until you get that feeling. Keep
Yeah.
throwing shit at the wall, keep banging on the keyboard, and etc.
Absolutely. Everything doesn't need to be something. It's a hard thing to learn as a artist. Like you think that every piece you work on, you're like, oh, I come up with this idea. That means I have to follow it through. But that's not true. Just
Yeah.
follow through or you're going to there is a quantity problem right now where people feel like they have to put out music every freaking day or every freaking week. And so they will take anything. And you don't want to do that. Like you want to, like it sucks that that's the way it is, but that doesn't make you better. Like it doesn't make you listen to yourself. It makes you listen to a algorithm.
Yeah.
You got to have time to fail.
Yeah. You know what I found too, and this is, I don't know how related this is to what you were saying, but it kind of popped into my head as you were talking, and that is that when I just put an album out, and I have, like I said, I've got hundreds of songs to choose from, and I thought, I'm going to put out the super album. What if I put out like this 40 song, because Drake did a triple album, so I'm going to do a quadruple album because fuck that guy, whatever. But I think it says more. Maybe it's a sign of maturity to curate what you have created a little bit and to say, of everything that I've done, because you seem like you're like me in that you could probably put out an album a month if someone challenged you to.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not a great album a month, but you could put out an album a month.
It wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
It may have some good to it, but it wouldn't be.
Yeah, it wouldn't be consistently strong.
I didn't emotionally connect with every single one of those songs on that album. I'm guaranteed. Not if I did it in a month.
Sure. And yeah, there has to be some point where you say, this is my standard. This is who I am as an artist. This is how I want people to see me. And yeah.
It has to work for me therapeutically. That's my thing.
Yeah. Is that your biggest drive as a songwriter, you think? If you were
release.
If you were on a desert island and there was no audience, but there was a guitar and a piano, would you still be writing songs to sing to the seagulls and the fish?
Well, so first thing here, Bluebeard. It's not much different than my current audience.
Okay.
I'd be out there singing to the dolphins and the fish. Yeah, I still would. I think that would be an awesome time killer. If I'm stranded on a desert island, I'd love to have a piano and a guitar. Hope I have extra strings. The weather's probably not going to be great on those, but yeah.
Quit being practical. Quit being.
Yeah. No, for real. I think that would be an ideal way to spend my time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think something that I've thought about recently, I was having a conversation with somebody who they were complaining because a friend had said to them, "Oh, you're still doing that, still doing your little music thing. You're still doing your little music thing." Yeah. And the implication is you're trying to do something you're not going to succeed at, number one. And the implication there is you are a failure. Now, I am not Michael Jackson. I probably, no matter how, I could get the luckiest break in the world and I would never be Michael Jackson. I'm never going to be that popular. My style, even if it hit, it's not going to hit like that. But that doesn't mean I can't be successful, right? There are small restaurants in my town, mom and pop restaurants, that nobody outside of town has ever heard of, but those people make a living. They're happy. They get to make food every day. They get to be their own bosses. They're successful cooks, chefs, but they're not McDonald's. They don't want to be McDonald's. To me, McDonald's is Michael Jackson. and that's a bad thing to say. I shouldn't say that because Michael Jackson is a cut above McDonald's at his best as an artist. If you take away the child molestation and the all that sordid business,
Right.
But
I just have to point out in chat. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
no,
Cosmic said I like Cake Shake better than any Michael Jackson song. True story, and I'm actually going to agree with that. That song hit for some reason with me. I don't know why, dude. I don't know why.
It's a for one thing. If I can shift some of it off of myself, the beat is really good. I picked a really cool beat. Yeah. And when I heard that beat, I thought, why is the exclusive still available on this? Because
it's your voice on that beat too, dude.
Yeah, something about it worked. Thank you for saying that, man. I appreciate that, and thank you also to Cosmic for saying that. To anyone who appreciates my music, I do it for myself, and I'm happy doing it for myself. But I would be lying if I said I didn't appreciate when other people connect with it.
Oh yeah, no, it's awesome because they're connecting with you at that point.
Yeah. And
the fact that they like he listened to that song and is now making a statement to you, not after anything, and you know that, and that's what's amazing about it. You actually connected with that dude, and that's super cool. Yeah, I'm down with the same thing, man. I love it when I connect with someone. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Do I have anything else? What did we miss? What should we talk about with this song? Is there anything that you thought I was going to ask you that I didn't ask you?
Yeah, I thought you were going to ask me if, oh my God, I tried to think of something funny and I thought I thought you were going to ask me about the run time, but I don't know how long the song is.
Well, it's interesting, the pacing of the song, because it's not a ton of lyrics for how long the song is. You've got a guitar solo in there. You've got, or not a solo as such, but kind of an interlude of wailing, of shredding.
Tremolo pick. Yeah, you can make songs sound great with that tremolo pick.
There you go. All right. Well, does the chat? Let's see. I've been ignoring the chat over here because
I have to.
I've just been doing my best to think of things to say, because it's my first. Everybody, I hope I didn't show it too much, but I was very nervous. James was very nice and a very good guest.
Dude, you're doing awesome. This is fun. I think this would be great to watch. I mean, obviously, I'm going to come back and watch these. I think they'd be awesome. I love that you're asking questions about a single song. There are so many songs I could think of that I would love to see you do this with. So I'm excited to see what the future of your show is.
Well, I appreciate that, man.
Awesome idea.
I hope, according to Chat GPT, I've really got something here, and you can trust Chat GPT.
I don't. I
would say that was sarcastic.
I would say you should trust chat and possibly me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not an expert, but I will say I think this is an entertaining setup.
All right, definitely. Cool. Awesome. Well, let's see. We made it 45 minutes. I was thinking maybe we might make it an hour.
We could. Let's ask another question.
Let's see. Let me look at my notes here. Why write songs? How long to write a song? How often do you write? Is writing work?
No.
Yeah.
Speed round.
What? How about this?
Yes.
I think we kind of spoke to this earlier. But when you write a song, is it in one sitting, multiple sittings? You come back and tweak. I think you kind of said that it's
multiple settings.
And it's an evolving process for you.
When I'm recording a song, like either the music or the lyrics, because like I said, it's usually two different phases. When I'm feeling the emotions, it actually usually makes the emotion worse for a while. So like I hear the song in my head when I wake, when I sleep. It's always in my head, and it almost feels like when I get done recording that I got it out, the song out of me. But it's like whatever emotion is driving that song, I feel extreme until the song is out.
I gotcha.
Do I hear a cat?
You know what?
My cat? Is that you?
My speakers might be making a little noise.
Oh, my cat's right here too.
Oh,
sorry. I thought I heard a little bit of a purr. Anyway, I didn't realize he was here. Yeah. So there is a bit of a.
Turn these speakers off in case there's. I think they're buzzing.
Terry said, Bluebeard Bard, throw the chat open for the last questions.
Oh yes, let's do that. Anybody
Yeah, pull
got
the
any?
teacher move.
Yes. Now for participation points. I don't know how to. If I was really sharp and tech savvy, I would be putting the chat up on the screen and we would be reacting to it.
I could help you with that in the future if you want.
Yeah, that would be awesome if you could.
Yeah.
If you could, and I noticed too that you stream to multiple places at once. Is that
Yes.
the thing? And how do you
I
do
stream
that?
to 3 places.
Is that Restream or do you use
I'm
ADM?
using Restream.
Okay.
I'm using Restream IO, yeah.
Okay, and you recommend that?
It's worked great for
Worked
us.
for you? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I just sometimes people use it, but they're like, "Fuck," but don't bother because it. Like I spent a good 3 or 4 hours today fighting with drivers trying to get, as in software drivers, trying to get this thing called ADEM multi-stream, which is like a standalone thing in OBS that handles all of it on your computer instead of in the cloud.
I was using that for a while, and then I switched to Restream because I was just like, I don't want to deal with this anymore.
Right
and we are having multiple people stream too, so any one of them can stream to the Restream now, and it hits all our channels.
Okay. How about this? Chat wants to know, did you ever see that guy again who was the subject of the song? And were you in a relationship, which is why it was such a brutal leaving? So I guess they're asking, was it a romantic relationship?
It was not. I'm straight. I'm straight. He is a male. It was not a romantic relationship, but I do feel pain from romantic and platonic relationships. Very similar. If you hurt me, it hurts. It just fucking hurts.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
I'm the same way, man.
I will say that I have talked to him since. He's not doing the greatest, but you've heard his music. His name is Doug Balderson. He was me and Gene Balderson from my band Glory to Hell. Aspen has put him on a couple soundtracks and played. Rapscallion has played him on a show.
Okay.
And on Happy Jack. So he's still around. He did have me play a song once on the show. But yeah.
Okay.
We're cool. We're cool. The song offers forgiveness. We're cool.
It does offer forgiveness. I was gonna say the appendix to the song declares that the journey made it all worthwhile. We had a good day at the water park before you gotta remember that dude in the parking lot.
That dude was part of my best live performance, like my best time performing live. Like he was in my punk. He was the lead guitarist in my punk rock band. At the point where I had been the most like, that was the best live performance experience I've ever had in my life. Was performing with that guy. So I mean, we had amazing times.
And has he heard this song?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he knows it's about him.
Yeah. Is he a fan?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He always understood me. That was the thing. That was what made it all that much more hurtful. He understood who I was, like artistically, always.
Isn't that weird when, like, because I've had experiences actually even on this through Twitter where I've met people and felt like we had a connection, and then for reasons that I didn't understand, whether there was a jealousy thing, whether there was an ego thing, whether there was something got in the way, and you end up feeling like, why did you make an effort? But I guess in the end it was worth it because the journey was
absolutely the moments that you did do whatever that made you even feel this way, that you're sad now, means that what you did counted while it was happening.
Yeah. Yep. That is a good point. Good point.
Right, Cosmic feels closer now.
Good. All right, let's see. How about this? Oh, here's sort of a provocative question. Does this song have any weak points? Anything that you wish you could change or do different? And maybe the answer is no, because you would have gone ahead and changed it already. but I'm going to ask anyway. Is there anything about this song that doesn't work that you hear it and you go, you know what? I need to.
So one of the reasons I picked this song for this show is because, in my opinion, it's one of our best, one of Clysmic's best. I don't think it has weak points. I think it does everything I wanted it to do. I'm including the story behind why it was made, like right down to Yuki saying, "I think you could sing that better." That made this better. That made this the art piece that I wanted it to be. You know, it's not just this version of it, but the story that led to it. It's multiple stories led to this. Multiple journeys led to this song. It's like that's beautiful to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's any. To me, there's no weaknesses.
Okay. Good. Good, because we don't want you to bring in that weak sauce around here. Let's see what other questions did I have.
The dance moves in the video. I'm sorry, the dance moves in the video are what they are. I dance awkward because I am awkward. I am not a good dancer.
I thought about playing the video, but I didn't. I wanted to keep the focus on the
song.
Yeah, focus on the song. And I think I'm gonna stick with that, because some people, like, a video can really make or break a song and can add a lot. And this show supposedly is about songwriting, not about multimedia.
I got you.
Production, etc. Which is why I didn't focus on that. But I did watch the video, and you've got some moves, James, I've got to say. No, one compliment that I've gotten and that I would gladly pass along to you as well is people have told me it looks like I'm having fun when I'm doing my music. I'm not, there's something to be said for the guys who want to look back and be like, I got my gin and my juice, I'm so cool when I'm rapping. But there's also something to be said for, this is like my energy, and I'm here. I'm ready for it. I want you to feel my energy.
Well, that's the thing. I'm not cool in real life. So why would I be cool in my videos? Like, I'm just like, you know what? I'm awkward and I'm kind of stumbly, and you know what? That's what I'm going to be in the videos. I capture what I really am.
Well, how about this, James? At what age? Because you're not a spring chicken. At what age did you know yourself well enough that you could be that? Because I distinctly remember there was an age where I thought, boy, I'm switching schools. They don't know me at this new school. I'm going to be one of the cool kids now. I'm going to be cool. I want to be cool. And I outgrew that, obviously. I grew into myself and learned who I was, and just, learned that being quote unquote cool is really being yourself and being comfortable in your own skin. But at what point did you say, you know what, people are still going to like me. I don't need to be this idea of,
So when I was 16 years old, I was a bullied kid and all that, right? And I had to go get a job at the local theme park.
Okay.
Like, I was 16, my parents were like, you gotta get a job, blah 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 blah. So summer job, I went and got a job at the theme park, and I was like, oh, and I was a bullied kid, so I didn't really like going places because I was bullied. Anywhere I'd go in the town of Liberty, there was bound to be one of my bullies because everybody fucking bullied me and I hated it. And I went to this theme park. I went to this theme park and started my job, and they put me in trash collection. I was like, oh wow. And I'm like, this is the worst. Why can't I even get a job out in the public? Why would they put me in trash collection? And they put me under this manager, and his name was Dave Cooper. And I'm calling out his name right now. His name was Dave Cooper. And I'm like, this job's shitty. I can't believe you do this. This is so terrible. And he's like, man, this is the best job in the park. What are you talking about? And I'm like, what? We smell like garbage. And he's like, we don't have to do anything. And I met this guy. Anyway, over the next summer, this guy, he was like, he just walked around spouting his little philosophy, and to me, it was like this wizened adult, but he would have been like 18, maybe. I don't know, but he just walked around spouting. It's like, wait, why would you want to try to be someone else? That seems like a lot of work, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Why would you want to try to be someone else? Seems like a lot of work just that people are going to find out who you are anyway, and they're still not going to like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. I'm like, and I just started embracing at that point. Like, it was like, oh, so just be me because no one's gonna like me anyway. Like, why am I fucking trying so hard?
Yeah.
I went back to my last year in high school. My my senior year of high school, I went back with these philosophies in my mind, and bullies no longer had power over me because
Yeah.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
Like I didn't care, and it somehow helped everything. Like I fought back even.
Yeah.
You know, like I
It
remember
really, yeah.
for the first time in my life, I punched someone back, and he just laid there on the ground bleeding. I was like, oh, and I was just like, you know, I became that guy. I was like, oh my god, I have power. And then yeah, no, I just always was like, I'll just be myself, and my whoever likes me is my people, and it kind of that's how it's always been ever since.
Yeah.
Uh,
Huh. Well, I think it's so important to be yourself, and I think it's important to have a musical
and
identity
Cosmic,
that. Oh, go ahead.
Cosmic, I did punch him in the face. His name was Jay Lewis. Hey, Jay Lewis, if you're watching this, I know you're not, because I know I actually followed you on Facebook to see how your life's going, and it's really shitty. But Jay, sorry I punched you.
I don't know if I've ever punched somebody outside of a training situation. I don't think I
I've
ever
hit a few
had.
people.
Well, I'm blessed or cursed with size. I'm 6'5". I walk around at
damn.
6'5", 265. So most people don't fight me if I'm willing to fight. They go, okay, never mind.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Yeah, well, and
I wouldn't fight a linebacker either.
Yeah,
Oh
well,
my God.
and here's the thing too is I lived in the dormitory of the Hit Squad, which is a professional mixed martial arts team in Southern Illinois. I was trying to write a book, and I trained with them for 10 months. So basically, I'm not trained enough that I could beat a professional fighter. I don't want to act like that because that would be a lie. But if you're not a professional fighter, I could probably beat.
Watch out.
Yeah,
I like
I know a few tricks.
Terry, I'm not violent, but I will protect myself. But I'm not violent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's better to walk away if you can. You know.
Oh yeah, I don't want to fight because that hurts everybody.
Yeah.
And that leads to more bad blood. That's the other thing. Like that, like if you can get out of it without a fight, it's highly likely that it will never be anything, but also you may become friends with that person someday. I've had that happen as well.
Yeah.
People that almost got into fights with that you later become friends with. Like, I'm not.
Weird. And it's a weird thing too. I've had an experience where if you get into a fight with someone, into a physical confrontation where you test yourself against them and they test themselves against you, and you both kind of meet as worthy adversaries. It sounds very macho and very stupid and chauvinistic. Forgive me, the ladies in the chat rolling their eyes. But you do feel a sort of kinship afterwards. You know, I remember the first time I had a good hard spar in the gym, sitting down next to the guy afterwards, exhausted because we had just gone 5 minutes really hard, and just looking at him like, yeah, we did that. We were in there, man. And we both had this look like we were connected. And it was just, it was my first time doing it. I was going to do it 1,000 more times. But there's something about being in competition with somebody in that way.
Oh, yeah.
You feel connected to them. It doesn't make sense. You would think you might hate them, but you don't. I don't know.
I played roller derby for a long time. I played for Kansas City. I played for Omaha, and then I played for Des Moines.
Okay.
And I played it for a very long time, and that was one of my favorite things. I didn't like people I could beat.
Yeah.
I wanted people that
were going to give you a good competition.
Like I became close friends with all the people that really whipped my ass. Like those are the people I'm like, yeah, now I got like those, like I get it. Like it is macho shit, but the girls did it too. They were the same way. The ones they respected were the ones that gave them a good fight.
Yeah.
And that's, I want her. Like I'm still close friends with so many people, and it was because of that.
Yeah.
It was because of those times where we would just battle. It's like, who's gonna win? I don't fucking know, but that hurt. You know, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's very important to differentiate between the bully behavior, because this is not that. I never bullied anyone, and I never would have. I hated bullies my whole life. Anytime I saw it, I did my best to stop it. You know.
I feel like there aren't too many bullies that have blue beards.
Not too many.
Just you know what I'm saying? I feel like bully mentality. I feel like they don't usually go to any. I feel like they're gonna be a little. I don't don't know. Every bully I've ever ran into looks similar. Like
Yeah.
I rarely they look like a type. They rarely look like somebody I would be friends with.
Yeah.
Like I just can't imagine a single one with a blue beard.
No, yeah, no, I don't think it fits.
Yeah.
I gotta say, walking around with a blue beard, I get a lot of compliments, random compliments, but I also get one out of 5 working men, blue collar guys looks at me like they want to hit me with a fucking pipe wrench or something.
Oh man,
They
those
just look
people
at
that just hate.
Yeah, they
stuff
just
like
look
that,
at me like, what did you do to yourself? And I just want to be like, man, I don't know you. Fuck you. I'm not gonna engage. It's not like I take
Yeah.
offense and get my hackles up. But I see them looking, and I'm just like, they don't know that if they got into it with me, I'd probably hand them their ass. But let them think that I'm a pussy, or I hate that word.
That aside, but the fact that they're getting mad by looking at it shows that they probably have nothing in their lives, which is super sad.
Yeah, that's what I think.
If it's to the point where you're getting angry over how somebody dyes their beard, oh my God, I'm sorry, your life is not going well.
Yeah,
Wow.
and if it ever came down to it, and I ever talked to somebody about that very thing, I would sort of put it in those terms. I would say your life must be absolutely perfect that you have time to worry about the facial hair of some random dude who you're never going to see again, and that makes them think, well, actually my life isn't perfect. I should be worrying about my fucking rent and my fucking wife and my
as if these people are actually reasonable.
Yeah.
Oh
right.
my God.
Well, shall we play the song one more time and say goodbye?
Yeah, well,
we made it an hour. I had a great time, James.
Dude, it was amazing.
I'm looking forward to doing this again. Hopefully the next guest is equally awesome. But let's get the song up here.
We know a ton of awesome people. I bet they will be.
All right. Yeah, and that's one thing that I'm gonna want to stay in contact with you about, if possible, is getting me connected with some of your indie boom folks, and we're gonna get the word out and hopefully get a long line of guests and have some good talks about songwriting. And
I bet you'll have a line quick of indie boomers.
Yeah. All right. Awesome.
Wait, that's not what we're called. We're shockwavers. What the fuck are you doing, man? Shockwavers.
Shocker. All right, here we go. Here's the song. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Outro by Clysmic on the Songwriter Studio, the first episode. Again, thanks, everyone, and we'll let this play us out. Good night.
Thank you, Bluebeard.
Thank you, bud.
Separate ways. We've had
awesome, man. Thanks, James. I'll talk to you soon, bud.
Yep. Thank you, buddy.
All right.